Today we are going to be doing a mock draft, full first round for every team in the NFL. Okay, so first we have the Tennessee Titans. I think that they need to build around a quarterback more than an actual quarterback. And the defense, this team just needs everything. So I think Abdul Carter might be the move here. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like one of these quarterbacks would just not succeed in this team, in this system right now. Whether it be Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Abdul Carter is a very talented defensive player. And I feel like he can really do well paired with other assets this team can get in free agency. So I think that's the move. Travis Hunter could be good here too, but I'm going for Abdul Carter. Now the Browns, this team, you can't have Deshaun Watson back up somebody with all the money he's being paid. So I think the move here would be Travis Hunter because he can play cornerback, which his team is going to need, and wide receiver. I mean, you have Jerry Jeudy in that, but I feel like Travis Hunter is the way to go with his versatility, and this is like best player available situation for the Browns right now. Because this, as I said with the Titans, this team needs absolutely everything. It's not a great situation. It's never been a great situation for the Browns, but it's what you deal with. And I feel like here for the Giants, you need a quarterback. You can't take. And I feel like Ward, I've seen him play, so I feel like he's probably the move here. You could also go Will Campbell, or, well, you wouldn't need a wide receiver. Could do Mason Graham. I'm sure I just butchered that name. He's a very talented defensive lineman, but I feel like Cam Ward's the decision here because he has better decision making. And a lot of people don't have a first round grade on Sanders, so I feel like Cam's the way to go here. Now, the Patriots, I'm going to probably go Will Campbell here to protect Drake May. You could also go wide receiver, but I feel like he's not going to have enough time to go to any receivers if he just keeps getting pass rushed. And this team had a horrible offensive line, and Will Campbell's the best player for offensive line in this draft. There's just nothing else that will compare to him at the moment. So now we have the Jaguars, and this team needs defense very desperately because this team was horrible. This team had expectations that they just did not live up to. It doesn't help that Trevor was always injured, but they have all right receivers. I don't feel like that's your main need right now. So I think you need to go Mason Graham. Now we have the Raiders, and they need to go Shedeur. They just need to go Shedeur. Because this team has needed a quarterback for a while, and they have just been just good enough to not get one of those elite quarterbacks. So I'm going to go Shedeur, and this team needs a lot. They need a capable wide receiver. The defense is alright. It could be worse. So we're just going to go with Shedeur here. And the Jets now, they are going to need a lot here. Not going to need Ashton Jeanty. Maybe Malachi Starks or Williams. There's a lot of good players, a lot of good edge rushers in this class. But I feel like we're going to go with Williams here would be the best bet. Could also go wide receiver here and get McMillan. But I feel like this team needs to address the defense that took a massive step down this past year. And I feel like that's the right move. Now the Panthers, they could use some help with the wide receiver room because Xavier Legette did not fill expectations. Could also go Will Johnson at corner or Malachi Starks. I feel like Starks would be a really good fit for this team because he was a big part of that Georgia team that made it to the playoffs and have been consistently good for a long time. I feel like Hubbard should be enough to keep that running back room going for a bit. So we're going to go Starks. Now, the Saints. The main needs are edge rusher and offensive line. So I feel like James Pierce Jr. would be a good fit here. Still have Alvin Kamara, so you don't need Ashton Jeanty. Could maybe make a case for wide receiver because Olave just keeps getting concussions. Will Johnson is an amazing cornerback. They did just trade Marshawn Lattimore away. But I feel like edge rusher is going to be the move because this team was so hot in the beginning and then it just had no defense. That's where we're going to go. Now the Bears. This team just needs offensive line because you cannot have success without offensive line for Caleb Williams. And I feel like Kelvin Banks is going to be a good move here. He was injured for a good part of the season, but I feel like he is just too good to pass up here. They really do need tackle help. You could go Tyler Booker at guard. That could be the move. This is a hard one. Well, I'm going to go with Tyler Booker. Then here's where we're probably going to want Banks to go. I do not like the 49ers, but this team was just so injured, and offensive line kind of fell apart. So we're going to go Kelvin Banks. Now, the Cowboys. I see a lot of people mocking Ashton Jeanty, and I think I will too, because this team just really needs it. They could go cornerback because his defense fell apart. Tyler Warren, he's an amazing player, but I don't think that's what the Cowboys need right now. We're going to go running back. I feel like Rico Dowell is a good back in the league, but I don't think he's going to compare to Ashton Jeanty, and it just feels like a Cowboy move. Now, the Dolphins need offensive guard, offensive tackle, and defensive tackle. So, I don't think any of these players. Will Johnson is still a very good player, and McMillan, we don't know how it's going to end with Tyreek Hill. Could go Jalen Walker. We could go Membu as well. Membu might be the move. He played very good. Okay, and now we have the Colts. And this is just a perfect spot for Tyler Warren here. This is where a lot of people have him mocked. This or the Jets. But I feel like the Jets needed edge rusher more. And this is like Brock Bowers 2.0. And Brock Bowers did amazing this season. And you could go cornerback Will Johnson, but you're going to need somebody to help out Anthony Richardson in that like short passing game, which he did not do very well at. Now, this is where I think for the Falcons, we will have Will Johnson and give Bates a little help back there because... Or you couldn't. No, you wouldn't want to go wide receiver because you have Drake London. Yeah, I think Will Johnson's going to be the move here. And then the Cardinals. This team needs quite a bit. I feel like we could go wide receiver here and get McMillan to help out Murray. That could be the move. Could be. Actually, I think we'll go Walker here as another key piece of that Georgia defense, because this team does need linebacker help, and you have Marvin Harrison, so that's where we'll go Walker. Now, Bengals, this team needs defensive tackle. This is where we're going to have Derek Harmon go. This team does not need a wide receiver. McMillan is still there. I just haven't really seen a place for him yet. This is where we're going to want Derek Harmon, because this team got very little pressure. And, I mean, safety, this team, but we're going to go Harmon. Seattle Seahawks, this team needs offensive tackle and offensive guard. I do see edge rusher, but I'm a Seahawks fan, and edge rusher is not a need. We need somebody to protect Geno. So we're going to have to go down a little here, and we're going to have to go with Josh Simpson. He does have a little bit of injury history, which makes me nervous about picking him. But I think he's the best option here at offensive tackle. We might have to push him into guard. And we're going to be moving on to the Bucs. This is where we're going to draft Nick Mallory, something like that. He seems like a very capable safety out of South Carolina, who has had a great defense, and he was a big bright spot on that team. So, and the Bucs need safety help and I feel like he's going to be a perfect fit for this team and work towards being yet again the division leader. And now the Broncos, we're gonna see McMillan come off the board here. This is gonna be huge for Bo Nix, because not a lot of people thought he was gonna be good this year. And then he led them to the playoffs. And I feel like here, he's most definitely the best player available. Now we have Steelers. Here we're going to have Shavon Weevil at cornerback for them. And he should help improve that defense that got obliterated by Baltimore in the wild card. And should really help this team take a stride into the future, no matter who the quarterback's going to be. Chargers, I think we're going to draft Luther Burden to help out Herbert and get him back to what he was in his rookie year. This team could have taken Malik Neighbors. They decided to shore up the offensive line, which was most likely a good move because they were able to get Ladd McConkey in the second round, and he broke out for them. So, and I think this is going to be another solid addition to the wide receiver core to help them take another step to winning a playoff game. And you could go Matthew Golden, but I feel like Luther Burden's the better option. Green Bay, we are probably going to take Nick Scorton. I don't know, I'm not good with names. As the edge rusher, should really help this team and get that defense in a very competitive division in the NFC North, with the Lions and the Vikings only getting better. Now, speaking of the devil, the Vikings, let's see here. They don't need a wide receiver, so we're going to go Benjamin Morrison, cornerback out of Notre Dame, to get that defense better, as I said, with the Packers in that division. Texans. This is where we're going to want to take Williams out of Ohio State, Tyreek Williams, And this defense took a huge step back, and so did CJ Stroud. So I feel like that's the best move. You could also go Walter Nolan, but I feel like Williams is the better pick out of that winning Ohio State team. Okay. Then we have the Rams. We need linebacker, offensive tackle, cornerback, wide receiver. And with Cooper Kupp most likely leaving, you could make an argument for Matthew Golden here. Would be a good move. You could also go Connor Williams for offensive tackle. I feel like that's would be a really good move for them. Still a little uncertain about that quarterback situation with Matthew Stafford, but we're going to go offensive tackle there. Now, I think here we're going to probably go Matthew Golden. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do, because and give Lamar Jackson another true weapon along with Zay Flowers, who is still kind of developing. And this team should have been a Super Bowl team last year, but with the addition to Matthew Golden, this team can take the next step. Here we're gonna want probably gonna go Walter Nolan here. Seems like best player available here at defensive tackle for the Lions, who were just so banged up. Another team that should have been in the Super Bowl, but just injuries, man, absolutely destroyed this team. And Walter Nolan can help add depth to that position and be a starter if needed. And so Washington, this team exceeded all expectations. I think maybe we go Emeka Ejubaka. Oh, holy crap, I said that so bad. To help with Terry McLaurin, who is kind of aging. I feel like that's going to be the move here, to give Jaden Daniels another weapon to keep up with that Eagles Super Bowl winning team. And the Bills here, probably safety with Barron, Jahade Barron. I've pronounced all these names so bad. I'm so sorry to these people. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We have safety for the Bills. And that should help improve that defense. You would also probably want to go wide receiver, but all of them have been taken. Here, probably Kenneth Grant to be able to penetrate with Chris Jones making a big ruckus, having to be like a double teamed. So I feel like that's probably going to be the move, is to draft him. And the Eagles, the Super Bowl winners themselves. Let's see here. I could probably go Mike Green out of Marshall to get that defense even better. And this team is just so good at drafting. I feel like that's probably going to be the move. Thank you for watching this video.